company really came out of sort of the really deep creative side that I know that I have. And it was during a time where I was preparing for my comprehensive exam, and I was like, oh my goodness, like if I don't pass, I'm gonna need a backup plan. So
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another video of Tea Time with Letitia. Today I am drinking some maple, it's a bit of a glare, but it's maple black tea from Canada, and it smells amazing. Now, the only thing with black tea is, and get your mind prepared for this, but black tea relieves constipation, and I can admit that it really does. But hopefully we make it through this video with no problems. And today I am drinking a mug that says coffee. I know I always talk bad about coffee and, the coffee drinkers, but I'll give y'all some props today. My mom is a coffee drinker, and when she came here, when I first moved to State College, she was like, I want you to have a mug here that's for me, that I drink out of when I'm visiting you. So today I'm drinking out of my mother's mug. And on today's video, I have with me a very special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and her tea.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. My name is Jessica Eason. I'm a graduate student at Penn State. I'm in the Molecular, Cellular, and Integrative Bioscience program. I'm getting my PhD in microbiology. Today, I'm drinking chamomile tea. I did not get it from Canada. I got it from Giant Supermarket. And I'm drinking out of a mug that says Explore. This is actually really special to me because I got it on a friend trip that I took with my 4 best friends from home. I'm from Massachusetts. And it's really actually been helpful for me in grad school because it reminds me sort of the balance of being productive here as a student, but also never losing the passion to explore and travel and do the things that make me happy. So, yeah.
Yes, snaps to that. So, okay, you're a grad student. What do you study?
I study microbiology. I work with squid and bacteria, the bacteria that live inside the squid. We primarily work on the bacteria and the properties of the bacteria that might impact the squid. So that's really important for humans because we also have a whole bunch of bacteria that live inside us. So this is sort of a different way of studying how the bacteria that live inside of organisms such as humans and other animals can actually impact that host organism. So that's really the general gist of what I'm studying here at Penn State.
Okay, that's cool. So we brought you here today to talk to us about your business. You have started a clothing line, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about, the birth of this business, where the idea came from, the name of it? And I also want to point out that you're wearing a shirt today, right?
I am. This is one of our newer products. It's called the iWin line. And this was inspired by one of my best friends here in grad school who recently graduated. He's in an MD PhD program, and him and I really went through the fire together. So I made this shirt in his honor because he graduated, he passed, he got his PhD. I'm very close. So this was really inspired by that, but it's conquering the mountains. You see the mountains and the sun, and yeah.
Yes, okay.
So my clothing line is called Rough Seas, and it's called Rough Seas because I'm from Massachusetts. I have grew up with the ocean. The ocean and the beach are like my place of peace. It's like my ultimate place of serenity. So I think if anybody who has gone through any sort of grad school can know that there are some really dark times where you just like, you know what? I could leave right now and go do a million other things. And so this company really came out of sort of the really deep creative side that I know that I have. And it was during a time where I was preparing for my comprehensive exam, and I was like, oh my goodness, like if I don't pass, I'm gonna need a backup plan. So I really just started to design logos and work with Illustrator and try to figure out, okay, can I actually make designs that make sense for what I want to represent as my creative self, and you know, what can I really do with those designs? So I started first making t-shirts and sweatshirts for myself because it was just sort of a side project. But then people were like, oh, what's that? Like, that's really cool. Like, where can I get one? And I was like, what? You don't want to buy this? So that was really cool. So then I really started to think about it as not just a mental break for myself, but something that I could turn into something bigger. And at first that was really scary to me. I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm a grad student. I have like 50 million things to do in a day. But I have a friend who started his own business. He's about a year or two younger than me. And I was like, if he can do it, I definitely can do it.
Oh my goodness. If that has not been the motto for me, now every time I see someone doing something that I admire, I'm like, wait a minute. I know this person personally. If they doing it, I can do it too.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So this just started off as something you were doing for yourself.
Yeah, it was part of my mental health routine. You know, I feel like in any case, especially as young adults really trying to find their place right now, and as a grad student, you're always trying to prove yourself every time you're in that professional setting, you know, so much pressure. So I wanted to have some sort of release. And like I said, I really like to do a whole bunch of crafts. I like to paint. And I was like, you know what? I've never tried to do anything on the computer. And then that really turned into something beautiful because I was like, wow, like this little logo that I have with the man on the wave, like that's really represents like where my heart is. And being away from home, being away from Massachusetts in the ocean, being in a landlocked state, I was like, I need something that will connect me to my place of serenity. So that's like really where this came from, and really took off and blossomed into something bigger and better.
Okay, you know, I can definitely agree to the being in a landlocked city. I am from a place where the beach is 15 minutes from my house. I mean, granted, it's a small beach, but then Pensacola Beach is 45 minutes from my house. So coming here, oh my goodness, I asked about, you know, are there any, you know, places to go swimming, like water, things like that. And say, oh yeah, we have a beach here. And, you know, I didn't think about the fact that this is a landlocked state.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's a beach here. Where? Girl. They say go to Whipple Dam.
Right.
I went to Whipple Dam and it is a lake with sand around.
That's exactly what I thought when I was like, this is y'all's beach? This ain't no beach.
Yes, yes. So I definitely know how you feel about being away from the water and the sea and all that stuff. So in this process of getting your business started, like it's a registered LLC, so it's real, right? Yeah. Like you got your paperwork, you got your documentation, you can even do taxes.
Right.
So did Penn State provide you any resources? Like were they helpful in getting this process started?
Yeah, so I think that was also part of the motivation for me starting this, because a lot of times people struggle with, how do I get the correct legal representation? Who can I sit down with to make sure that I'm not about to get audited and become bankrupt, right? So as a student here at Penn State, they offer free legal services because we have a law school that's connected to Penn State. And then downtown, there is an entrepreneurial organization that's also run through Penn State, where you can sit down with people who do copywriting, people who actually know how to do taxes for small businesses. So my first step was I talked to one of the law students and wanted to make sure that what I wanted for my business was reflected in the proper documentation. So meaning, as a sole proprietor, if say I went bankrupt or something, or someone's like, oh no, that's my logo, you can't use it, then my own assets would be up in order to pay for whatever I'm getting sued for. And I was like, I don't want that. So then we went through and we talked about legally, what do you need to register your business as so that you're connected as the owner and sort of the central person of your business, but your personal assets are not connected to your business. You're not liable for anything. So,
and this was a conversation that you had with a law student.
yep. So you
Okay.
go through and you fill out a paper, a form that you really express what you want your business to be and how big you want to start it at. Do you have investors? Because that'll all go into what exactly legally you should register your business as. And I had no idea about any of this. So I'm so grateful for the resources that Penn State has provided. I just met with somebody about how I do taxes for my business. And yeah, it's been really good. They do a lot of hand holding and they're really at your disposal. So that's been a really great resource for me.
Oh man, I know some people in the law school. I need to get on start to email some people and figure out what I need to do to get my business going.
Yeah.
So did it cost a lot to get it started?
No, so that was also really great. So also I should mention the resources that Penn State provides for you are all free because you're a student. So none of that costs money. The people I met with, the time I spent with them, the only thing that cost money was registering my business as an LLC. That costs like maybe $100, and that's like a
Stop
one-time,
it.
right? And it's a one-time fee that you have to pay. I like don't have to pay that anymore. So it was really good. And then I run my website through Shopify, and that's like $30 a month. And then I found a supplier. So I found my supplier when I was just trying to make t-shirts for myself. And I was like, oh, these people have fair rates in terms of how I'm going to profit from this. They are really good at communicating. I like the quality of their product. And then I looked into how do I get them to be my supplier? And it was very, very straightforward with them. They had it laid out. I essentially had to click like 2 buttons. They became my supplier. I connected them to my website. And now the good thing is when anybody orders something from my website, I don't have to worry about supplying them with the goods. My supplier has all of that. So all of that goes through them. I just have to click the button to make sure that the supplier knows that there's an order coming. So it's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of money. Like I said, it's like $30 a month. And with sales, I make that back. So it's really not a huge investment to begin with.
Wow, that is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you just said that it's not a lot of time. So
Mhm.
on the front end of things, how long did that process take to get it started? I get that now, you have a good foundation. And
Mhm.
so now it's just about, when people order things and if you decide you want to be more creative and put out a new line of things. But what does that timeline look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I kind of got the idea around January 2019. I started really getting into the artwork and figuring out how to make sure I'm not copying somebody else's artwork, which is a huge deal. That was around February, March 2019. In the summer, I had like a pre-products. I made my best friend wear all of my products so that, to get things out there, to get a feel of what my audience was, so who I should target my business towards. And that was very helpful. I think at first I underestimated the importance of doing that, but that was really helpful. And then I got the supplier, I made the website in the fall of 2019, and I launched the business officially in November of 2019. So it was all essentially less than a year, and like it's still pretty new right now. But at the front end, it wasn't really that much time. But once I started to get into social media and I launched my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, that kind of became a lot. And so I was like, okay, if I'm going to be productive and I'm going to graduate, which is the #1 goal in my life right now,
Yes, yes.
I was like, I need a little bit of help. So I recruited one of my undergrads who works with me on my project in lab, and she's a really good student. Her and I have become really close. And so she handles my social media. So she will upload new products. She'll make an announcement about a coupon. And then if there's any trouble, if someone messages me, she'll tell me. But she sort of handles the social media. And I do all of the other business stuff, which is essentially just checking the website, making sure orders are functioning okay, and the connection between the consumers and my supplier are going well. So that doesn't take up that much time. I think in a week, it might be maybe 1 or 2 hours a week I'll actually spend on this particular business. And the cool part of it is so easy for me to upload my artwork that I can come out with new products like this. So
Okay.
it's been really good.
Wow. Okay. So you do have a little help. That was going to be like my next question is, did you get any help along the way? Okay. So is there anything else that we should know about your business?
Yeah, I think in terms of the process of starting a business and progressing your business, I think now I'm at the point where I think I need help. So it's always important to realize when you need help. Don't try to do things on your own and you become overwhelmed and then your business falls off, other aspects of your life fall off. Just when you need help, acknowledge it and find it. So I'm at a point where I'm like, I need help with marketing, right? I'm doing a good job with the social media stuff, but if I want to expand this, I need to figure out a way. How do I get past sort of the hurdle of the initial few people who like the business at the front end, and how do I sort of target a larger audience? So I don't know how to do that. So I'm looking for help for that. I have a few leads on where I can get help with that. And then in terms of financially, if I want to grow this business, I'm going to need things like investors, some people to invest in my business, invest in my idea and what this business stands for. And sort of that's where I'm at right now. That way I'll be able to hire more people to help me expand and spend a little bit more time and invest more time into growing my business with me. So I think that's where I'm at now. But this whole process has been an amazing boost of courage that I have, that I know I can do anything I set my mind to, that I don't have to pigeonhole myself into being just a student. I can be a student and a businesswoman. I would also like to say, this is super ambitious, but I actually have a second business.
Oh,
that
I was definitely about to ask you about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played basketball in college, and coming here, no longer being like a college athlete, I needed something to really, stimulate that competitive side of me. So I coach high school boys. And so I started my own travel AAU program. And I was like, well, why don't I just slap my name onto it now that I know what this process is? So I just recently got it registered. It's called Eason Elite. It's a 16U boys basketball team. We travel all over the country. And yeah, it's jumping off. It's good. We also have social media handles, and it's been a really good experience to connect with people athletically on a higher level. So it's been really great.
Okay, well, wow, that's 2 businesses you have underway. So at the first business, can you tell me what the first business is called and the second business, and what's the handles? I'll also put them in the description box, and I'll also put links of both of your businesses in the description box.
Oh, yes. The first one is Rough Seas. And as I said, we have Instagram, which is Rough Seas Productions. We have a website, which is also Rough Seas Productions, and a Twitter, which is Rough Seas LLC. And like I said, Letitia has all this information. The second business is called Eason Elite, and that is an AAU basketball program where I coach teams. I do individual sessions, and yeah, that's really just for anybody who wants to compete at a high level in basketball. So yeah, all that information Letitia will have, and I'm really excited about both of those things.
Great. So also, I just want to take the time to showcase her business card. Isn't it so colorful? I absolutely love it. And it's so cute. I love that teal green, bluish kind of color. So yeah, check out her website, check out all of her social media outlets. Thank you so much for being the guest today. And I wish you the best of luck with your business and everything. I mean, granted, you're doing pretty good as it is.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited and blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be on your YouTube channel.
Tea Time with Letitia is a segment of Gratified Grad where we discuss topics affecting graduate students. For more information on how you can graduate with gratification, click the link which can be found in the description box. Thanks for listening.